Hey everybody, this is the piece I told you guys I'm working on. As you can see, I did not get finished drawing it yesterday. I mean, I was working on it non-stop and I was working on this area here. So I'm going to be, after I get done doing my video, I'm going to go back and I'll be working probably up in here in the mouth area. Because, like, I got to finish down here. I got to do up here. Now here, I don't really need to do much because I can do that by hand or my own to, you know, I'll be doing lines up. So, but this is how I do it. And what I do is I made a photocopy of the image of the photograph that was sent to me. And then I print it again as black and white. And when I'm doing the drawing, I will, let's see here, what's this? So what I'm doing is I'm using the black and white image to get all of these details of the cat. And the reason why is because when you're working on this, it may seem silly, but you want to make sure you get these small details like here and here, okay? Like up here. All these slight variations. Now, you can see how it's just variation of tone, but here you can see it's much more defined. And the reason why I go so much and put so much detail into the drawing is because this is someone's cat. And it may not seem like a big deal, but like this, just this small thing right here, how you've got dark and you got the white here and then a tone here. This is someone's cat. This is what's going to make them go, oh, this is what makes them recognize that it's their cat. Not the fact that you're taking this image and redrawing it line for line. Okay? Because doing it line to line, yeah, because they're like, you can draw, you're just like, bullshit it. And just because it's a reproduction of this, they're like, oh, it's my cat. You want to give them those specific characteristics, just like there's characteristics in a woman, okay? And they're subtle. And that's the reason why a lot of times, like when you're doing an image of a woman, you want to have a black and white image, not just the color image look like. Because the color image, you want the black and white so you can get those subtle details. And then when you do it, you got to make sure those details are subtle, so that when you're done, the female face doesn't look marred. Like, oh, look, she's got all these pop marks on her face. No, those are the subtle imperfections that give a woman her distinct look. And the same thing goes with pets. So that's why how I'm doing it. And so I just want to give you a brief. I just wanted to guys just show you what I'm working on here with this piece. Hopefully, I'll have the cat done today. I don't know. Depends how in depth I get with the football game. But when I start doing my videos, I'll be doing the videos when I'm working on down here and over here. I'll be doing all this detail. I want to focus on it, and so I won't be doing this when I'm doing my videos. I'll just probably be down here working on it. So, but I wanted to give you guys a short, show you guys the piece I'm working on. I said yesterday that I'm working on this cat. So I did show them to them yesterday, the couple that are getting this. And what I did is I told them how, you see here, there's no foot down here. There might be a little indentation of, see how that might be a foot, but it might be part of his chest. So I'm putting in a small foot here, okay? I'm going to put in a small foot here so you can see his foot, so it adds stability to the cat's image. What I'm also doing is, you don't really notice the tail, okay? Your eye goes straight to the cat's face. And as I was drawing it, I put the tail in, but when I'm looking at it now, the tail, because your face will go here, but your eye goes here, but then your eye then moves around this image because it's a circular image. And having this tail breaks your eye and interrupts your eye as it moves around. So we talked and we agreed to take the tail out. I am going to have the shading down here, And now you might do is then is uh, see we can see where we got like brick and like some type of tile here. I'm just going to put subtle lines in showing that you're looking down but still going back in space. Have the shadow here. I don't know. I might add a slight tone around the image. It all depends. That's where you really got your decision making comes in when you're doing an image like this as to what to include and what not to include. So like I do see, because you do want a shadow in here, down here, because what that's going to do is it's going to help anchor the image of the cat. And then again, I'll maybe I'll put these in, maybe I won't. But I first want to have the cat and the shadow done, and then from there decide whether I want to put these slight lines in. See how we got the lines from the tile going back? And it helps to ground the image where it is. So I don't feel I need to put the bricks in. We just need to put those slight lines in, and they'll be very light. And like I said, after I have that, maybe I'll want to put a very, very light tone of dots around the cat. And then from there, maybe darken those a little bit to show going back in space, because we got it down here too. So, but these are decision-making processes. So, okay. So I got that, showed you guys that. Now we're going to go back to this piece that I was working on yesterday. And we're going to go and we're going to discuss the topic on hand. The topic on hand is, guys, those quite a few people that watch my videos. Uh, you watch the chat, and we've been hearing the criticisms uh, how the chat isn't very comic book centric these days, and we don't talk a whole lot about comic books. Well, we listened to the criticism and we answered it. So we spent a good portion of last night's episode talking about a possible new comic book idea called Cooters with Teeth. Stat started it when he was talking about Teeth the movie, and we ran with it. So it's going to star Danger Vanessa. Danger Vanessa provided us the details. We're going to get, we'll see who Danger Vanessa gets that she decides she wants to be the writer for this book. Now, bear in mind, this is going to be a group effort. So if anybody has any dialogue points or story ideas for this comic, feel free to email Danger Vanessa at 123dangervanessa at gmail.com. You can supply her with your script ideas, and she will pass them along to the person we ultimately decide to punish with having to write this script. Now, Stat, because he's the one who started it, he's the one who's going to have to draw it. We have Shane Davis locked down that at Danger Vanessa she wants him to provide the cover. She wants to be him to only spend 20 minutes doing the cover. We will forward it to Leroy, and Leroy can do the coloring for it. And of course, I'll be the cheerleader. If you want, depending on what the chat decides, would you like Eric DeGuapo to be the editor of this book? I know he would love to do this book. So it was just, I swear, guys, it's been so long since I laughed so hard like that. And if you watch it, I mean, it was like almost an hour in. We start talking about with the ideas, we're spitballing, and I start to lose it, and then Danger Vanessa starts to lose it, and that's the worst. When Danger Vanessa starts laughing, I can't stop laughing because she's laughing so hard. And then later in the show, we brought up the subject again. So if you guys are always saying we're negative and we're negative and we don't talk about comics, hey, we answered your criticism. We provided you with a comic book centric episode of the chat. So we answered the call and we provided we the chat is back as a comic book centric show. Thanks to Stat. Stat reeled us back in. He made it comic book centric. We have our own idea. I'm providing you the I came up with the idea of a stretch goal, vampire teeth, be provided in each order, and yes, we will have a box version available. So yes, you get teeth with the box. So and I think it's going to be a huge hit. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments after you've liked and subscribed. Go into the comments and tell me what you think about this idea. I mean, should we go with Eric Weathers? Who should we get the letter of this book? Uh, should we have a contest available for everybody to provide artwork? I mean, should we have this one of those? Should this be one of those books where each person does a page in the book, so that way the artwork is constantly changing? We know how a lot of times those fundraiser books they did in the remember the ones they did that Marvel and DC did for Ethiopia, and how they had a different artist and writer for each page. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we should do something like that, where each person provides artwork for it, so that way Stat isn't hampered with having to draw the whole book. So remember, he's saying no, he's not going to do it. But I mean, it's his idea, and we've all watched his show streams. He produces work very fast. So, but oh, I had so much fun with that idea. We're running with that idea when we came up with it last night. So, and uh, remember, next weekend is Baltimore, Raging Goblin. Well, hopefully, I'll be meeting you at the show on Friday. So I'm hoping. So, one thing also is I just want to give just let you guys know some of the artists that I think are uh, artists you should definitely, if you're going to Baltimore, artists you should definitely check out. Okay, Art Adams, of course, he'll be there, and he has such a large body of work. I would definitely advise he'd definitely be one to check out. But Jimmy and Amanda will be there. I have a couple of books specific to those two to sign. Remember, with most of them, if Amanda was doing the artwork, Jimmy did the story. And I've got one page or one book. It's Tome issue 3. Amanda Connor did the pencils, and Jimmy Palmiotti did the inks. So, and Billy Tucci did the story. So I'm gonna have all three of them sign it. And then, of course, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. It is a sin for you to go to that show and not say hi to Jose. I checked with my local store, and they are saying that the DC Style Guide, the hardbound book, it will be out next week. So if you get it, you will have the ability for Jose to sign it. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people having Jose sign that book this upcoming weekend. I know I'm definitely that, and I did the local store that we have. There was a local store, not the local store, but one of our local stores closed this last year, and I went and I got the stuff I wanted when they were closing. And basically, what I did was I went and I got a ton of books from the dollar boxes, and because of the closeout sale, it was 3 for $1. So I made a ton, and I spent a lot less money than I was expecting. So it was a beat up copy, but it was a copy of the oversized Treasury Edition style book that DC put out, even though Treasury is all Marvel. But you get what I mean when about the size now. But I got that. It was they had it. He had it for $50. I got it for 25. So it was the Superman Wonder Woman book. So I'm going to definitely have Jose sign that one. I'm looking very forward to having him sign it. So, but yeah, so that, and I got one or two other books I want Jose to sign. And then, of course, uh, June Brigman and Roy Richardson, they are going to be there. They haven't been there in a few years, so I'll be anxious to see them. Uh, Louise Simonson and the three of them, Louise, Roy, and June, they did a Star Wars miniseries. And so I'm going to have them sign those books. Carl Kessel, we all know Carl Kessel from the '90s in DC. He started out as an inker and then became a writer. I produced some really good books, so I'm definitely going to have a selection of stuff for him to sign. Sean Chen, he just had his crowdfunder. His crowdfunder has been fulfilled and printed, so I'm anxious because I want to see his uh, his book and get it from him. I did not back it because he did it on Kickstarter. So I'm going to have a learn conversation with him of having or multiple crowdfunding platforms to let him know about how, hey, you have different audiences. So you got to go where the audience is. So, but I'll definitely be getting that book from him. So, and then of course, we have Bob Hall will be there. I definitely want to get him to sign. I've had him sign all my other. Uh, he did the start of Squadron Supreme. Paul Ryan ended it, but he started it. So I want him to sign the last remaining issue of Squadron Supreme that I have that he did the artwork in. And then, of course, Barry Keatson. You can't go without seeing Barry Keatson. Fabian, he's there. He's going to be there. He's there part of the Heroes Initiative. So because he's there as a Heroes Initiative, he'll be signing books for less than he normally would if he was there on his own. And because it goes to the Heroes Initiative, it's a fundraiser, and he's very strong supporter of it. Along with Carl Story, Laura Martin. Good luck trying to narrow down what books you're going to have her sign because she has such a large body of work. And then, of course, like Carl Story, and he'll probably do sign a lot of Star Wars stuff. And then Scott Collins. So, but that's a good list of artists you definitely want to check out at the show. So, but guys, I'm having a great day. We're less than an hour from kickoff of football, so I figure in about 40 minutes, this bar will get quite busy with football fans, and then of course we've got the afternoon football games.